What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of J&B Tuning. Well, guys, it's been a while since I've actually done any video in this garage. Today it is my Friday off again, one of my Friday offs, and I am going to work on the Honda Civic. The issue that we are having really is that we are having a inner and outer tie rod ends, and basically the parts that I have here from NAPA, courtesy of NAPA here. Really awesome place to get OE type parts. I get my inner and my outer tie rod here. As you guys noticed in the past episodes, basically we're having some looseness underneath there, and it's causing the car to actually vibrate every time Sarah hits the brake hard in high speed. So we're gonna try and rectify that today, and hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Stay tuned. Alright, so I just want to show you guys exactly what we're working with here. So basically, as I have shown you when I did the service on this car, there's a bit of movement here and quite a bit of clanking. There's actually a side-to-side movement. The other way to troubleshoot this thing is that if you hold on to both sides here and you try to wiggle it with the tires, of course, that is, and if you wiggle it, you can feel a lot of clanking. So that's one sign that our inner tie rod, or our tie rod in general, is bad. So I do have some movements here already, as you guys can see. And also when I shake this thing, it really makes some clanking noises within the boot here, so in the joints. So anyways, we'll work on that and then we'll go from there. Here are the tools that I use in the process of removing our tie rods. Our inner tie rod tool. This is what I use, the cheapest tool that I could actually have to wrap around the knuckle, in the inner knuckle there, and then you can use this to actually loosen the tie rod, inner tie rod. For the outer tie rod, to be able to get the bull joint out, I have this bull joint puller. That's really if you needed to reuse your outer tie rod, this is a good tool to have because it doesn't damage the boot. It just clamps it in, and then it just pops the whole system out. The other way is that if that doesn't work, which are very unlikely, if you're not really worried about damaging the boot or the joint, you can also use this pry bar here. Just jam it in between. You know, as you can see here, I'll show you. You jam it in between here, and you could pretty much pop that baby out. And you probably don't want to do that because then you don't want to damage the boot if you want to reuse that outer tie rod. Hey boy, how's it going, boy? Woo! Anyways, guys, let's continue on working here. I got Sarah with me now, helping me out here to do some videoing here for me. So I'm just gonna run by you basically what we have here. First of all, I'm gonna get the jam nut loosened up now, so that way I don't have to battle that basically. So we're gonna undo the clip for the boot. And also there's a zip tie in the back there that we have to cut or pull. And then we're gonna undo the bull joint here and see if actually I can get this whole thing out, because I wanna measure the exact length of it, so that way, you know, we will definitely get this car aligned, but obviously we wanna make sure that the length is as close as possible, so that way we don't damage our alignment there in the process and damage our tires. So the easiest way to do this basically, guys, is that I have a 5/16 for the jam nut itself, and then in the process we will try to you know, hold on to using a crescent here. And then what I'm just gonna do is that I'm gonna squeeze these two together to undo the jam nut, and see if I can do that, because it's a lot easier there. Let me see if I can do that. Can you see, Sarah? Okay, let me see if I can squeeze this thing together. Yeah, there you go. Easy enough. I'm just gonna put it back in there because I want to keep that same sort of length, and I'm gonna attempt to get this whole thing out in one piece, so that way I can actually, including the boot, and then measure everything out first and see how long it is, and then try to get the new part in the same length. So next step here is just getting the clip out for the boot. Sorry for blocking your view here, but see if I can do this without blocking your view. There you go. All right, so the boot, it's zip tied in the back there, so I might have to cut that zip tie in the back to pull this out. All right, time to get the cotter pin out. Just have to unbend this thing. I don't know if I have a replacement cotter pin here, but let me get the screwdriver and see if I can pry it out. Alright guys, I'm gonna try and get the cotter pin out because I want to possibly reuse it because I don't have a new one to replace it with, and then I'll show you when it's done. Alright guys, we sprayed some DW40 a little bit here and got the cotter pin out. So anyways, now we're just gonna undo the castle nut and then try to pull things out here. So there you go. Alright guys, castle nut is out now. Let me just clean this area out a little bit. So basically we have this spreader tool here that we're going to use to zap this thing out. Yeah, our lighting was really bad because we have the window open, the door bay open there, and now we closed it, so it's a lot better. So let me work on getting this baby in there. Let's work it in there, and we're not going to reuse this thing. Oh, you might have to adjust this to the second level because it's not big enough or wide enough, that is. The beauty of this is that it does have that adjustment. There we go. So insert, so if you guys are reusing this, then just basically insert it in between the metal part and the as much as you can there, and then we'll try to pop it out. I don't think I have it in quite much yet, but let me see. Excuse me. I'm able to get it in as much as I can. There we go. It's getting in there. There you go. Okay. A little more. Okay. So here we go. See, is this is fit? No. Okay, you got a 21 mil here. So basically, crank this baby in until we pop that baby out. There we go. pops like a big bang. As you can see, came off nicely. Let me clean my tool here. Yeah, that popped up pretty good, as you can see, guys. We actually have a tear, I think it looks like, on this one. But yeah, so as you can see, it's really bad. So anyways, we will try to undo this whole thing. I just gotta get the zip tie on the back there. As you guys can see here, just want to show you the issue that we're having. That's basically how Sarah drives every day. Sorry. Anyhow, so we'll get the boot out again, and pretty soon here we'll pull it out. The boot is off now here. Kind of just slide it in here as much as we can so we can get our clamp on around the knuckle here, so that way we can actually get this out. So basically the idea is that you clamp this baby in like this, like so, and then this is how we will remove this whole thing. I think the idea of us trying to remove the whole thing as one shaft, so that way we can carry the same length with the setup on the other one there. So that's the whole idea behind this. So I'm going to try and tighten this up. So basically, guys, we just tighten this up and then we should be ready to do it. There is a tool that those fancier tools where you can actually put sleeves in and use that whole sleeve to undo it. That's the other way to do it. But in this way, I like it this way because it helps me in trying to get this whole shaft out as one length. So what I have here is an actual extension here. It's a 3/8 to conversion to 1/2. So I use this so I could have a bit of a beefier, you know, use my 1/2 instead of the 3/8 to get this thing out. I might even extend this thing and use my pry bar. So here we go. All right, so let's give this a try. Just hold on to it and the angle here. And then there you go. Easy enough, guys. As you can see, it already turned on me. So pretty easy. Definitely pretty easy. Keep turning this baby in. Easy enough. That's easy, right, Sarah?
Yeah. It's quick.
Here we go. You got the whole thing out. Definitely, as you guys can see, that shouldn't be doing that. Definitely. Well, you know, the culprit here really that caused this whole issue, I can show you guys, is this. Actually, we have a tear on the boot right at the you see right there. There's a tear there actually, which kind of caused all the grinds and dirt got in there and prematurely ended our inner tie rod there. So we might have to go run to the shop actually and get a new boot, because we're not going to be putting this boot in for sure in this process. So stay tuned. Well, guys, I want to show you the parts that we have here from NAPA here again. And
Thanks to Gabe.
thanks to Gabe for helping us on this. And basically this is the one that we are replacing, the inner tie rod end, and this is the outer. It looks nice, very nice. So we're gonna basically measure this exact length that we have on that one, and then we will put it in to eliminate some of that issue in terms of the alignment, like I said. So stay tuned. Well guys, I want to show you the parts here that we have. Technically, now that we have the full length the way it was untouched, definitely we will just screw this baby in here and try to match. So basically, the idea here is to just match the full length, so that way we can at least not worry about getting it aligned right away. Here we can drive to the shop to actually get it aligned and all that. So yeah, so anyhow, that's the idea, and we will try to match it as close as possible. I'm going to basically drive off here pretty soon and get the boot here for the rock and pinion cover, so that way we get a brand new one. It's actually $40 something for the OE, sorry, the part, the actual aftermarkets. They're like almost $50. The OEMs actually is way cheaper, but they don't have it on stock, so I'm gonna get an aftermarket instead. Anyways guys, that's the idea there. Usually the length from here, the base of this is where you match completely, and as well as this the length right here where the bolts are.
A lot of boring math later.
Well guys, it's been 5 hours since the last time I left you guys. I had to order this and it took a long time to actually get it available in the Napa location that I wanted to get this thing at. So anyways, I'm already changed. I actually went out for dinner with the family here, and so I just went and picked this up. So now we're gonna throw it in here. So basically what we have here is this this is the boot. That we'll be using here. There's few zip ties here. A big one for this part, and then the small one for the front. So we'll put this in here, and then what I have here going is I drilled a hole that is really straightly perpendicular to each other there, and I put these so that way we get the exact location of the actual bolt itself. And then I'm gonna have I'm gonna put my gloves here. So the idea is that I'm gonna basically, so making sure it's all square. I'm making sure I have a square here too, to make sure that everything's square to get the proper measurement. So I'm gonna, before we do so, insert this baby in here. The jam net has to be outside. Install it in like this. This will be, you know, close to perfect, I would say, in terms of the everything is located lengthwise. And then, as you can see here, So I already squared this the old one here right on the angle here, making sure. So again, it's parallel to the actual cart itself. So what I'm going to do is start you know, adjusting. As you can see, we want to make sure that this and this are parallel to each other. The actual base of the let me just straighten this up. So making sure that the base is perpendicular to each other there. And I'm just going to keep adjusting. So that's kind of about the right angle there, if you guys can see. And then I'll then tighten the jam nut, and we should be all good to go from here. Ready to go, guys. We got the jam nut locked in now. Not all the way, but enough so that way it doesn't move around. We got our zip tie here preloaded. All right, guys. Rack and pinion basically here. I did clean it up because there's some grinds in there and the whole 9 yards. So I wiped the inside here, so making sure there's no dirt, because you don't want that seal to be broken in the long run. So even this area here, I cleaned it up. Here's our washer, and basically we need to put it in this way and position it. Once you we screw it in, and then slowly position those 2 tabs right on the grooves here. It's hard to see, so just got to be careful here. We don't mistread this whole thing. All right, we got it in, guys. I have to be careful because I don't want to strip the inner tread there. So we got it in. So we will tighten that up as soon as we secure everything here. Let me put this in now, so that way that would stay in, and then we can use the clamp again to tighten it up. There we go. The castle nut. All right, let me tighten this up quickly. It's good enough for now. We will tighten that more later. And now I'm going to use my clamp here. So basically, guys, I'm not going to show you all this, but all you need to do is get back here again and clamp this whole thing, and then we will try to tighten it up. And then later on, we have to bend this. You see this little tab here? We have to bend it in like this, so that way it locks this this whole thing in, so it doesn't slip off or undo itself, basically. So all right, guys, let's tighten this up now. Got the full extension going here. There we go. That's all in. So as you can see, guys, so basically you have to look at this side here, Sarah, and this is how you tighten it up. Let's do a crank as much as we can. Yeah, that should be all good. From there, let's do a little bit on the, because it wasn't super tight when we got it, but we'll just do a little bit of a crank here. Yeah, it's good enough. All right, so we need to put the boot in now. So I just need some light here. It's a little tough without any lights. So as you guys can see, I got the thing preloaded now, and I just have to get this baby in here. That's too much, so yeah, it has to be around that area there. And then I'm just gonna get this in here. I gotta have my two hands. Excuse me here, making sure I don't block your view. I might have to go underneath to do this, but so anyways guys, let me get the boot in and I'll show you when it's done. Well guys, we got everything in. The one thing we forgot was the little tab to actually, you know, bend in a sense. It's not at the end of the world. I've already zip tied the back before I was actually able to bend the tabs, but it's okay. Even with the OEM replacement, they didn't even bend the tab when they did it. So, or whoever the last one that did it, should be fine. Now the new boot is in. We got zip tie here. Just gonna cut that off so that way it's not too long, and then we should be all good to go from here. There, just gotta be careful you don't cut anything. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and also, you know, shave that off and make it a little bit clean, because you don't want, because this thing actually retracts every time you pull in and out, or you steer. So you don't want anything sharp in there, because then it will really, it could really damage your boot here. So anyways, we're just gonna tighten this up with the cotter pin as we have here. Tighten everything up, tighten the jam nut here, and we should be all good from here. Should be good there. Should be all good. You just have to basically bend this around. All done. Well, anyways, guys, it's all done now. We're just gonna throw everything back in, the tires and everything, lower the car, get it out of the shop, and we go for a test drive at some point. Anyways, from here on, tomorrow we have an appointment to get the car realigned. Given that we measured it, it shouldn't be that bad. That our tires will be bowled out or basically misaligned in a sense that we should be able to drive around for that time being to get to the shop to get it realigned. So anyways, guys, without further ado, again, as always, if you haven't done so, please subscribe, ring that bell so you guys can never miss any videos that I have going forward. And then at the same time, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. Peace out.